Howdy folks, Matt here with Renissa and her bestie 15-pound slam ball. We're going to run through a slam ball neural charge circuit. This is a very multi-purpose circuit or micro challenge that you could plug into your training routine in a multitude of ways. It can be a standalone micro challenge where you're doing it to practice some power exercises, some movement patterns to energize, to feel good. Or you might be doing it as a warm-up for a heavy lifting workout. So again, the purpose of this is to energize, to stimulate, not to annihilate. We want to make sure that this is very performance-based and you don't feel like you are slowing down or getting sluggish on any of these exercise variations. It takes a lot of discipline to adhere to that, but really tune in to how fast and explosive and how on point you are with each of these reps and movements. And if you start to fall apart or slow down, you need to reel it in, recover more, go lighter, or just approach it differently. So neural charge means this is meant to ramp up your nervous system and ignite and activate your fast twitch muscle fibers that you use for athletic endeavors such as heavy weightlifting, or for that matter, you could even do this before some sort of a competition or sport. It'd be a great warm-up for that. So you're going to use anywhere from 5 to 20 pounds, not too much weight. You want to keep it fairly light because we do want an element of speed here. So it's supposed to be light and fast for neural charge purposes, meaning we're addressing speed strength. Speed strength on the strength continuum means that we're prioritizing velocity over force. So it's high velocity, not so high force. It's not low force, but we're moving the 15-pound ball, which is pretty light for Renissa, very quickly. You're doing 4, 3, 2, and 1 reps of all of these exercises in a circuit fashion. So you'll do 4 reps of everything, then 3 reps of everything, 2 reps of everything, then 1 in a continuous circuit fashion. So you just keep going through that. You don't rest after each circuit. You do 4 reps, 3 reps, 2 reps, 1 reps. And then you want to make sure that, as always, your recovery breaths are in the equation. Between each and every exercise, throughout all of the rounds, you take 2 to 5 recovery breaths. Now that gives you some wiggle room on how your performance is going. So if you can tell you're starting to get a little sloppy, a little fatigued, a little bit sluggish, or you're just not moving the ball as fast as you're capable of, then take more recovery breaths. You might start out trying to take 2 breaths between everything, and then maybe you'll move up to 3, 4, 5. Depends on who you are and how well you are able to implement your recovery breaths. So without further ado, let's do a sample exercise of each of these exercises, of each of these lifts. So we've got a wall we're going to use, but you don't have to use a wall. You can walk back and forth outside on the beach at a park. You don't need a wall. We just have one, and it's convenient, so we're going to do that. First, we've got reverse throws, which is a hip hinge exercise. See, the hips are hinged back. So you're going to swing and launch. It's all about the triple extension, ankles, knees, and hips. Next up, we're going to demo a rotation throw. So you're going to face perpendicular to the wall. You're going to wind up, twist, use the obliques, and launch. There you go. And she'll be doing reps on each side. Soccer throw is an overhead throw where you're facing staggered stance, overhead, and launch. Boom. Let's aim up a little higher, like straight forward.
One more?
Aim up, yeah. All right. Otherwise, it's a slam. A chest pass throw, both hands. And boom. Notice how she generated a lot of power from the legs and then explosively pass that like she's passing a basketball down the court. Next up, jump slam. From the ground, we go overhead, slam it on the way down. Let's do one more because that one's a little bit tricky. Jump up, squat, and land. Boom. All right. So here we go. Starting with our round of 4 reps of everything. Now you'll get a closer look at all of these throws. And we will implement, Renissa's going to take just 2 recovery breaths between each exercise because that's where she's at. All right, starting with the reverse throws for 4 reps. Harder and faster. There it is. When you launch it, get up on your toes. That's it. All right, now before we go into the next throw, she's going to take 2 of the longest, deepest breaths possible. For her, those 2 breaths are going to last her about 15 to 20 seconds before we go into the rotation throw. This will be 4 on each side. And you can either alternate or do all 4 on one side, all 4 on the other side. Here we go. Notice how her belly button follows the ball. Her hips follow the ball. She's pivoting her feet. 1 more. And switch. We inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Long, straight arms. All right, we want to make sure we keep the arms straight on that, otherwise it becomes a press. And next up, we're going into a soccer throw after she takes those 2 deep diaphragmatic recovery breaths. Again, did you get your 2 breaths already? All right. Now I'm going to quarterback her recovery breaths because that didn't last quite as long as we would like it to. Again, performance is the priority, and even though she can go right into it with no recovery breaths, we want to ensure that she's moving that ball as fast as possible. So this time, take 3 recovery breaths. Try to play a game where you count to 3 seconds in, 3 seconds out, 3 seconds in, 3 seconds out. Next up, we're going into a chest pass throw. Notice how she jumps into it like a broad jump, then explodes through the upper body. Force goes through the ground. Power exercises always start from the floor up. Packing the shoulder blades tight, just like a bench press. Keep the shoulders safe and stable. 3 long breaths. Give you a gust shot. You know I can't miss that. Last exercise is a jump slam. This is a starting strength exercise, starting power exercise from the ground, meaning it starts from a dead stop with no momentum. Notice how she comes up as the ball comes up, and she squats when she slams the ball. Boom. Squats to pick it up, squats to slam it. All right, now let's bump it on up to 4 recovery breaths. The weight's going to stay constant, but now we're going to move down to 3 reps of everything. Now, how quickly you get through this is up to you. 5 to 20 pounds. If you're using 15 or 20 pounds, chances are you're going to need to slow things down a little bit. If on your last rep of each exercise you can feel that you're not as explosive, then you need to reel it back in a little bit. This isn't meant to be an exhausting workout. The key is to stimulate, not annihilate. And that takes a lot of discipline, but that's athletic training in a nutshell. Prioritize performance, not fatigue. Always form and focus over fatigue. We're going to go into our round of 3 reps of everything, but you already saw everything in action, so I'm going to cut it here after she gets her inaugural rep in. And boom. All right, we'll catch you next time.